Well, good morning, everybody. We are back once again for another episode of Pickup Lines presented by Gamez Law Firm, Integrity Roofing and Siding, and the Sabinal Group. We're live inside the all-electric Lexus RZ 450e, courtesy of North Park Lexus of San Antonio, North Park Lexus at Dominion, and we are on the beautiful, picturesque campus of Texas A&M University-San Antonio, Tamusa, home of the Jaguars, with the man who runs the athletic department, the director of athletics, Darnell Smith. It's great to see you, sir.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
You may have the new record for the most props and visual aids brought by a guest, which is not a complaint at all. I cannot wait to see. And maybe in some cases, some people will be seeing some of these things for the first time.
Yeah.
But behind us, we've got a cool backdrop here with some of the swag. I love the swag. I love all of it. And in the back there, kind of wedged in the back seat, is something that is literally new to this campus. It's an NAIA college basketball.
Absolutely. So basketball, we launch officially this year.
Right.
Matter of fact, October 28th, we are hosting our first competition ever on our campus. It's going to be a historic event. We're going to play against the Southern University of New Orleans. 5:30 start for the women, 7:30 start for the men. So come out, show up, show out, and support the Jaguars. But it's such a historic time for us. That we started off with 2 sports, and now we're at 6, and basketball is just our latest sports with men's and women's.
Was it softball and golf that you started with, or was it soccer? What was the timeline when you got here?
Yeah, so timeline wise, spring of 2021 seems like a long time ago. We started off with softball, and we started off with men's golf. Roughly about a little bit over 30 student athletes. Yeah. And fast forward, to go to the fall of 21, that's when men's and women's soccer came about. Right. And that bumped us up from a little 30 to about 85. Yeah. And with men's and women's basketball to launch here in about 3 weeks, we're going to be at roughly about 130 student athletes in 6 sports.
That's fantastic. And there's plenty of real estate out here to build more facilities and everything over the future. But, I was reading, so you became, the school's 15 years old, yes, right? 2009. In 2019, you became the athletic director. And nobody could have predicted what was going to happen with the pandemic. But how crazy was your life as you're fired up, you have this new job, you're back here in San Antonio now, and then the world shuts down. Nobody's playing contact sports. No. Well, I mean, how scary was that for you?
Well, it was a very precarious time, very scary. And when you think back to the pandemic, which seems like such a long time ago. Right. But one thing I understood was that the institution, the system, A&M system, they supported and they believed in what we were trying to do. At that time, I was just trying to make sure, are we still going to have athletics? Right. Because we haven't even got started. We didn't have any student athletes. I was trying to hire some coaches. I was just trying to make sure we could move this thing forward. But again, having the support of everyone around us, we were able to get these things accomplished, start up our sports, get our coaches hired. But it was very, very precarious, very, very challenging. Right. But, in this leadership role, we just got to learn how to pivot and adjust. And I think that we do that very well here, being resilient and showing that ability to be flexible.
Well, it's the athlete in you, I would think, that, probably taught you some of those skills and everything.
Oh, absolutely. Being a natural competitor, but also learning as a former student athlete. How to be able to adjust in real time, how to be able to pivot, how to be able to change directions, if you will, in football. All these things were instilled in me, and I guess it just carries over into a leadership role.
We'll get to your football career in just a little bit because it was pretty decorated, and you did a lot of nice things, including here in San Antonio. But when you look back at 5 years ago, and now here we are in 2024, about to launch your basketball programs and everything, what did you think when you got the job, and now 5 years in? Is it exactly what you kind of expected, or has it far surpassed what you thought it was going to be?
It's almost all the above.
Yeah.
I mean, so I expected it to be a little bit challenging. Especially, you can't predict the pandemic like you talked about, but knowing that you're coming in and building an entire intercollegiate athletic department from scratch. It has never existed. Especially, it's the first intercollegiate athletic program in South Bexar County history.
On the south side, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So knowing that there's a lot of expectations, I came in prepared because of my experience, because of my previous experience at my other institutions. Right. A lot of professional development, and just feeling ready, knowing the city, knowing the challenges that the city poses. I felt very, very ready to be able to come in, and I felt like over that period of time, Yes, at the beginning, there was a lot of challenges, but I felt like given everything and all my experiences, we were ready to go 4 years or 5 years in.
So far, so good, I think. So you were in Oklahoma at the time, right, when this job opportunity came to you. But you were no stranger to San Antonio because I believe your dad was military.
Yes.
You spent some of your childhood here in San Antonio, right?
Absolutely. So my dad faithfully served for 22 years in the military, Air Force, and was stationed right here at Lackland. So a lot of my childhood was spent right there on Lackland Air Force Base.
Right.
And really also beyond within that area on the west side of San Antonio. Back when there was really nothing out there, you see it now. It's sprawling. It's buildings. I tell people I remember when cows were walking across the street. But no, I mean so Adams Hill Elementary for 4th and 5th grade, even Sam Rayburn Middle School for 6th grade. 7th through 10th grade was spent at Lackland or Stacy, Virginia All Red Stacy High.
Right.
And then 11th and 12th, where I graduated, over at Taft High School. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
And Eagles.
And well, you had several mascots in there, but you were part of a pretty good Taft team. People may not realize that was it like the turn of the century, right? It was 2000. Make sure I have it. Was it 99, 2000, or around that time you were at Taft?
Yeah, so it's about 2000 to 2002. I graduated 2002, but yeah, no, I mean, I can't thank just the people who surrounded me back when I was younger. And even so much so, even outside of Taft, I remember playing for the Spurs Little League. I remember doing 3-on-3 tournaments in church parking lots here in the city.
Like the Youth Sports League?
Youth Sports League.
Oh, wow.
I remember playing for Columbia for Little League football.
Right.
I remember doing all these types of things. But when it comes to just thinking about Taft and when it comes to the leadership that was there, we did incredible things. So 2001 is when the Taft Raiders, I was very fortunate to be a team captain for that program, for that team, and we got to the state championship. No one gave us an opportunity to do much of anything. If those that remember from that time, I think we were picked 5th in our district, in the Northside ISD district. Very, very tough opponents like Marshall. You had Holmes. We even had Del Rigo, Eagle Pass, some of these schools that were part of it.
Yeah.
And we just played together as a team. We had this motto at Taft. Under Lee Bridges was Coach Bridges was the head coach, and then Coach Mike Osterman also played basketball.
Right.
So Coach Mike Osterman was the head basketball coach, but football specifically, we had a motto: 60 hearts, 1 heartbeat.
Wow,
where we all played together under one heartbeat. We played for each other. That year was a special year. We ended up playing against number 1 teams in the city. I think Madison may have been number 1 in the city at the time. We played against Judson in the Alamo Dome. We played against Pearland in the playoffs. Matter of fact, that game against Pearland was at the Astrodome, and Vince Young was also there at the same time. Playing against I forget what opponent, but after we got through winning, beating Pearland, Vince Young, his team was up next. So just incredible times. So all of that led to us getting to the state championship where we played against the Mesquite Skeeters. Right. And we unfortunately lost that by 1 point. It's a very controversial game. For some reason, I don't know who posted this, maybe someone from Mesquite, but that game is still on YouTube to this day as a classic game. It's hard for me to watch, but for those that want to look back at a blast from the past, go and check it out. It was right there at Alamo Stadium as well. And on that day, it was raining very hard, and the rain was very cold. But we had a good team. We had a good run. I'm just so thankful, so proud to be a Raider and to be able to bring that to the city.
So did you say they played the state? And I'm ashamed to say this because I was just covering sports back then, but I'm trying to remember. They played the state title game at Alamo Stadium?
Yes.
The Rock Pile?
Yes. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Right here in San Antonio.
I was thinking again. I was reminiscing. I was thinking it was either like Texas Stadium or some like in Austin somewhere. But back then they played at Alamo Stadium.
Yep.
Okay.
And even back then, with Taft, or at least with the divisions, there was no 6A at the time.
Correct. Right.
There was 5A, and there was Division 1 and Division 2. So we were 5A Division 2.
Right.
Whereas like 5A Division 1, that was teams like Lufkin.
Yes.
Who had Reggie McNeil, who went on to Texas A&M.
Sure.
But for us, again, to say, hey, you're 5th in the district, and you're representing the city. There's only a few teams playing at that moment, playing in December. Yeah. And to be one of a few teams to be able to play for a state championship, even though we did not win, very controversial. Yeah. And I'm looking at the camera because those that are watching understand when I say it's controversial. I'll just leave it at that. But either way, I definitely learned a lot from that, and that resulted in me being able to get a scholarship opportunity to play for Oklahoma State.
So I was just going to say, so you went on, was at Stillwater, right? You went to Oklahoma State, played, and I guess you stuck around after you played, right? And stayed on campus and worked there in the football program?
Absolutely. So one of the things I learned being at Oklahoma State, I'm, again, just a natural competitor. I love sports.
Yeah.
Ever since I was 6 years old playing for the Lackland Bulls here in San Antonio, or just 10 years old playing for the Bandits and the Charros over at Columbia, sports have always been a part of my life. And then when I got to Oklahoma State, I realized just the power of sport.
Yeah.
I realized that sport has the ability to be able to transform lives. And I wanted to be a part of this to be able to help transform other people's lives. People believed in me enough, one, to give me a scholarship. The coaches came to, my coach at Oklahoma State was Les Miles. And then it was followed by Mike Gundy.
Before Mike Gundy,
who's still there. Mike Gundy was the offensive coordinator. But Coach Miles believed in me enough to come to San Antonio to say, look, we want to offer you a scholarship, and this scholarship is going to change your life. And I didn't know anything about recruiting. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, great. My parents don't have to pay for my education. That was my main goal. And so whenever I said, let's go for it, they said, you're not gonna regret this. And I never did. But when I got through playing, and I played defensive end, I was number 50, and started years 2004, 2006. And I've also played linebacker. I played every role in special team. But I said to myself, I want to become an athletic director because I feel like I can have the same impact on others the way that someone had on me. Someone believed in me enough to say, we're going to take a chance on you. And I want to be able to help transform other people's lives that same way.
That's interesting because I think a lot of people that would think that way would go into coaching, but you instead wanted to get into the front office and the administrative side.
Oh, yeah. So the coaching aspect of it, it was simple as this. I said, okay, well, how often are you on the road recruiting?
Oh, yeah.
And I was told by a coach, well, you could be on there 3 or 4 whatever months out of the time. I said, well, I don't know if that's going to work for me. It's too much time away from, in my mind.
Yeah.
So, it's like it's too much time away from, a family.
Sure.
And so I want to have that same impact. I can hire the coaches. I can set the culture. I can set the trends, everything. I said, to be the athletic director is where I want to be because I have the biggest umbrella to where I can have the greatest influence. And so I said, this is the route I want to go. And when I started at Oklahoma State, I worked in the compliance area because they said compliance touches everything. And it really does. But I didn't realize how grueling it was, too, at the same time. You are responsible for ensuring everyone follows the rules, that there's institutional control. And but I took that on, and I was able to grow just from that area.
I have spoken to many coaches over the years who talk about that lifestyle, where in a lot of cases you can be compensated well and everything, but boy, what a toll it takes on the family. And the minute that last playoff game is over or whatever, they're on the road, already recruiting and whatnot and everything. Now, you don't have football here at A&M San Antonio yet, but you obviously played the sport. And I wonder, just in the current landscape of college football with the NIL and everything, just since it's evolved in the time you've been here in the last 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine what that would be like if either you were playing still or if you had football right now and you were having to navigate all of that here at A&M San Antonio?
It would be madness a little bit. I mean, just to say it jokingly, but I mean, we would figure out how to best provide for our student athletes and be able to maximize their experiences and opportunities. I mean, that's one of the things that I thoroughly believe in, is creating meaningful and memorable opportunities and experiences for our student athletes, and we want them to graduate. So, but at the same time, as this sport evolves, as everything around athletics evolves, we also have to be able to adjust. To go back to the earlier question about, being able to be flexible, being able to pivot, that's just the resiliency that we bring. Right. But in short, it would be madness, but we would get through it. And also with the NIL, I mean, there's a lot of benefits to that too. Right. But I also think that it'll still be madness because we're not at this point where people understand how it should work. And they're talking about collective bargaining.
Yeah.
They're talking about unions. They're talking about pay for play, and so there's so much uncertainty and unknown that you just won't have all the answers, but you just got to be able to adjust as things go. So
being in the NAIA, for people who don't understand, compared to the NCAA, does everything or all the rules apply the same way here as they would at a UTSA or a Texas or an A&M? In terms of your student athletes wanting to pursue a sponsorship or an NIL deal, they can do that the same way?
Yeah, so when it comes to NIL, there's certain state requirements that we have to abide by. So as a state entity, we will do that.
Yeah.
We'll provide the education. We'll make sure we set our student athletes up for those that want to take advantage of it and just let them understand what the rules are within the NIL. But when you look at NAIA, there are different rules. So, for example, because my background is compliance, when you think about the rules or the manual for Division I, it's over 400 pages. When you think about Division II, it's slightly over 300 pages.
Yeah.
When you think about Division III, it's maybe over 200, so you get the trend here. NAIA is roughly about 150 pages.
Right.
So there's some things that the NAIA believes in. Obviously, rules is important. Sportsmanship is important. Character is important. All these things. But the NCAA has just different resources and different mechanisms for ensuring that their rules are followed and making sure that their associations are adhering to those guidelines. Yeah. So the NCAA is one entity where you have all these conferences. So you may have like the Big 12, you have the Big 10 from Division I FBS. Division II, like schools like St. Mary's is Division II. A&M International, West Texas A&M, Division II. But then you also look at like there's Division I FCS, where you have like you have University Incarnate Word. You'll have Sam Houston State, or some other institutions. So, but NAIA, there's just one association. We have conferences. So we're in the Red River Athletic Conference, which is kind of based out of Waco. And we play against other institutions like Our Lady of Lake University. We play against Houston-Tillerson, which is up there in Austin. LSU Alexandria. We play Jarvis Christian. Even University of Houston Victoria. So
my alma mater, by the way.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Not a lot of people know about UHV, which are also the Jaguars. I didn't mean to cut you off there,
no,
but
you're good.
You're the first person ever to mention UHV on this show, and so I got to give that's my alma mater.
Yes. Well, and they provide great competition for us. So they are the Jaguars, but I like to tell them we are the Jaguars.
I hear you.
But no, I mean, so it's good competition within the NAIA, within our conference. But there's differences in just how they're structured, how they're ran, who has access to championship and postseason. So therefore, the rules are going to be slightly different too. So for those that are wondering, you can always go to the NAIA website and look at the rules versus the NCAA website. There's a lot of differences, but we operate within NAIA rules.
Okay, we're learning, by the way. And speaking of websites, it's Tamusa Sports, or TAMUSA Sports.com. If you want to find out more about what the Jaguars are doing here and what Darnell is making happen over here and getting ready. Basketball season starting here in just a little bit. You are by the way, the current or the Red River Athletic Conference Athletic Director of the Year.
Yes. So
congratulations on that. I suspect you'll win more of those. You talked about graduating, and I know you guys take studies very seriously here at A&M San Antonio. Is it 72% of the students here are the first in their families to attend college?
Absolutely. So it's very important. I mean, our institution was established to be able to serve this side of town. But serve San Antonio, serve Bear County. Right. But specifically on this side of town, where traditionally and historically has been underserved. And education is a ability to be able to create change and transforms people's lives. And we realize that on this area, this side of town, this area, a lot of our population, a lot of our students are first gen. And we take great pride in making sure that once they get to college, and the statistics and the records will show that if you're able to take care of those that are first into college, and you create these experiences that are meaningful and memorable, as we talked about before, then we're likely to retain them, because the whole goal is to make sure that they are graduating. In addition to that, we are military embracing. That's one of the great things that I really love about this. Again, my father having served, my family having served, and military embracing. So 1 in 6 of our students are military affiliated.
Very good. Okay.
And I will also say that we've hit record enrollment high, where we just topped over 8,000 in enrollment this past fall. So kudos to everyone that's there. So we are growing by leaps and bounds. Matter of fact, one of the fastest growing universities in the A&M system in the state of Texas. And as Chancellor Sharp has said, and I agree.
John Sharp, right?
John Sharp, yes, sir. That this is a rocket ship. We're going up. And we believe that all roads lead back to the south side, particularly with our campus.
Good for you. Well, listen, all these new students are going to need swag to wear and everything, and so you've got this here in the back, but you brought some stuff here.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and show off some of the things that you have, because I grew up collecting uniforms, and I just love this kind of part of the whole sports experience. So what do we got here?
So we have our softball jersey.
Nice.
Just one of them. Everyone likes some pinstripes. This is a very classic look, but we have our Jags right here.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
there
good.
We go.
Perfect.
There we go. 22 on the back. So be sure to come support our softball team.
Beautiful.
Their championship season will start in the spring.
Okay.
I got one of our jerseys. So since it's October now,
breast cancer
awareness. One of our soccer jerseys.
Oh, look at that.
Here we go, supporting and making sure that we can find a cure. We
I
want to
love
fight
that.
this. So we got Jaguars here for soccer. So come out and support our soccer program.
With the pink ribbon on the top, too.
Yep, there we go.
Amen to that. Very good.
We also have men's soccer right here. A nice little touch with the maroon.
I like that. That is sharp.
Absolutely. And you can see our new logo. Just get a little bit closer with that.
Yeah.
We just redesigned and launched a new logo back January 19th of this year.
Okay.
When you have a lot of new things on this campus, you got to have a new attitude. And this logo represents a new attitude. Again, we are Jaguars that we represent. So you see on the back. So nice little cool jersey there.
All right.
And with the launch of basketball, oh, by the way, I can't forget about golf. So you see the hat back there. Yep, you see the hat back there. So that's men's golf.
Okay.
We're working on potentially in the future bringing some additional sports. So we'll see. Don't know about women's golf yet. I do get your questions. But
he hears you.
We hear you. I hear you.
Okay.
All right. So
and then basketball.
So you got women's basketball right here.
Here we go.
There we go.
No, you're good.
Jaguars.
Okay.
There we go.
Nice.
Our secondary logo on the back, little claw marks.
Oh, wait a minute. I hadn't seen that.
Absolutely, yes.
With the little claw marks.
Claw marks and the star for San Antonio.
Okay.
Represented. Right. So for those that you may see a theme. Our colors are black and silver with the accent of maroon.
Okay.
If you come to our games, and then we got men's basketball right here.
Oh, look at that! You get the whole. It's all spelled out there.
All spelled out.
Nice.
And on the back, we have our Jaguar head logo. There you go. A little nice stripe on the side, representative of some claw marks, if you will.
Okay. Did you have any input on the design here, or is there a team that did that?
The coaches.
The coaches. Okay.
I'll say the coaches and the players, because the coaches will listen to the players, because the coach and I would probably agree that if there's anything about style and trend, don't ask me.
Well, come on now. You clean up okay. Hey, look at you.
Every now and then, my wife tells me I look good. So I trust her judgment more than mine.
My wife picks out most of my stuff as well.
Absolutely.
But listen, let's be honest. I mean, people love swag.
Yes.
I've seen that at other institutions and stuff. They're always looking for the coolest, the newest stuff, and the logos and everything.
Absolutely.
So and there's money to be made there as well.
There's money to be made, and one of the things that we believe in is giving away swag. So even at our games, and you come to different events across campus, you'll find a lot of swag. We know that you like T-shirts.
Yeah.
So even outside of athletics, Festival de Cascarones, come to that.
Drink Fiesta.
Drink Fiesta. Yeah. To come out to our campus, we do a lot of things that support the community. In addition to that, you can watch some amazing basketball and some amazing athletics events happening with our student athletes, and we'll have swag to give away. We thank our sponsors too for being able to join in and be able to support us with that. But yeah, we have swag. If you want it, come find us. come support us, and we'll make sure that we can get something to you at our events.
I love it. I love it. A few more minutes here with Darnell Smith, the athletic director, or director of athletics, if you will, at Texas A&M San Antonio, who's just shown off some of the jerseys and everything. You brought a little something here.
Absolutely.
Again, this is like I asked guests to bring a memento. I don't know what this is. This is the first time I'm seeing this, but you can explain what this is and what it means to you.
So this memento, and I'm just going from a sentimental, just a more personal. When I think about, I talked about earlier about how sports can transform lives.
Yeah.
So this is a guy, just a generic guy, a football player that's kneeling. Faith is very near and dear to me. I'm a faith-based kind of guy. And on the statue, it says, I can do.
There you go. There you go. Yep.
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And it gives Philippians 4:13.
Yep.
So just personally,
right.
I feel like my journey, none of this would be possible without the good Lord. None of this would happen without his guidance. And I always believe that I can do anything as long as I put my faith in him, and as long as I keep that same conviction. So this statue reminds me of, even as an athletic director, when they ask me, hey, are you sure that you can build this athletics department from scratch? I can do anything that the good Lord says that I can do. And I have faith that I can do these things. So this statue right here, this memento, reminds me of just my roots, and then also my upbringing, and really keeps me grounded in times of turbulence or times of change. It just keeps me focused.
Wait, and that includes pursuing your doctorate.
Absolutely.
Which you're currently doing right now, or are you close to finishing that?
I am close to finishing. No, I am close to finishing.
Wow.
So I am pursuing my doctorate. I'm just a lifelong learner.
I see that.
I just, I have big aspirations. Who knows? Maybe one day, from beyond athletic director, there could be a presidency. I don't know yet. But one of the things, again, it's about the influence. It's about being able to challenge myself. It's about being able to grow the program and myself at the same time. So I am working on my doctorate. It's adult and higher education with the emphasis in intercollegiate athletic administration. It is at the University of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
The university was closer to my house in Oklahoma City. So I was like, hey, it works. But no, I'm a lifelong learner, and I just want to be able to reach the peak. As we talked about my competitiveness,
right.
I believe it correlates and it transfers over to what you do in academics.
Yeah.
My slogan, and what I tell my student athletes and my coaches, is we are building champions. We are on a mission to build champions, athletically, academically, and in life. And I'm no different. Meaning, if you're going to win a championship academically, why not go for a PhD? Because at the end of it, when you cross that stage, you get that ring. And that ring is winning the championship. And so for me, it's a personal journey. My father also has his PhD. Other members of my family have a doctorate. So I'm just pursuing this. And I had great examples. My mom, my dad, my family, and people, my wife, my boys, people that inspired me over the years.
I wonder, whenever that day comes for you, if you can compare that to anything you've accomplished in sports, that's going to be an amazing day for you.
It will be an amazing day. And to finish answering that, anticipating spring of 25.
Okay.
So I'm working through it as we speak.
That's going to be here before you know it.
It's definitely here.
Yeah.
So in the midst of all of this that's going on, I will take all prayers and thoughts. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be exciting, and maybe we could do a follow-up, and I will definitely be able to tell you once that day comes.
And then I'll call you Dr. Darnell Smith. That'll be the official new title here, and I would love to do that, by the way. One more time, Tamusa Sports, TAMUSA Sports.com is the website. And again, the basketball officially tips off on what day?
October 28th. It's going to be 5:30 for women, 7:30 for men. So come to our campus. It's going to be at our very new student rec center. But it's going to be home for Jaguar basketball. So come out, show up. We'll have information about tickets and for the games on our website soon.
Yeah.
But please come check us out.
So the last thing that I wanted to close on with is this here. What would you want people to know about this place? I'm just looking at it right now. Just aesthetically, it's just a beautiful campus.
Yes.
I see cranes, and I know there's construction and growth happening as we speak. Outside of sports even, what would you want people who see this to know about what happens every day here at A&M San Antonio?
Ooh, how much time do we got?
A little bit. We have enough.
Okay, I can't say enough about this place. I mean, it's not even, like you said, it's not about sports. It's about what this campus means for San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
It's a transformative experience. It's a transformative place. We believe in building the community. For example, come November 15th,
yes,
when we do the Dream Maker,
which I'm honored I will be emceeing that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so that in and of itself is an opportunity to be able to raise scholarship dollars
right.
for students to be able to come to our campus, be able to achieve their dreams. But this campus is a beautiful place and it's very, very intentional. But we support the community in many, many ways. It's about creating these opportunities so that other people can ultimately achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
And to continue on, for me personally, I'll say that growing up in San Antonio, when you think about just how the city is expanding,
mm-hmm.
All roads will lead to our campus.
Yeah.
And it's about creating jobs too.
Sure.
Tapping into like the workforce and making sure that we are connected with partners across I say across campus, but across the city.
Yeah.
So working with Bexar County, for example.
Right.
Bexar County was gracious enough to be able to support us with $10 million to help build facilities that's going to support the community.
Awesome.
And that's coming starting in January.
Yeah.
It's about making sure, like with some of our elected officials and the judges, commissioners, the council. I mean, everyone has come together because we all have the same purpose and the mission.
Yeah.
We are always on a mission to make sure that we can have the greatest impact and the greatest influence on the community so that we can improve the community and improve the quality of life of its residents.
And then hopefully those graduates come back to campus or whatever, or give
Yes.
back in some way, and it just kind of feeds itself in the years to come.
It will feed itself, and we're already seeing evidence of that right now because we're over 8,000 enrollment. When I started, we were at a little over 6,000.
Yeah.
And you factor in a pandemic, you factor in Snowmageddon. Let's not forget about Snowmageddon.
2021, the freeze, yes, yes.
But you factor in all these different things that have happened,
Yeah.
and yet we are still growing, and we're still one of the fastest, if not the fastest growing university.
Love it.
And we're here. We're here for you all. If you want to learn more about A&M San Antonio, visit tamusa.edu. So tamusa.edu. You can also visit becomeajaguar.com or .edu. Forget, but become a Jaguar. You can also look at athletics at Tamusa Sports, as mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
.com. But we are here for you, for the community, and we want you to know more about us.
Yeah.
If you have a pursuit of a degree, come check us out. And we are only growing and expanding. We're getting ready to build a College of Education, Public Health Administration facility. We got the Palo Alto Hospital right down the street from us. We got a third dorm that's probably in the works. And we also have another athletics facility that's on the horizon.
Okay.
That's going to be able to seat more people. That's going to be dedicated to athletics and future sports. And some of the future sports are on the horizon. Well, come check me out. I'll tell you more about it.
I thought you were going to break some news here real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not yet. Got to leave a cliffhanger for you.
All right. Listen, so thrilled for you and everything that's happening over here. I appreciate you taking some time to be with me and bringing all the cool stuff to show off here today. And thrilled to see basketball launching here later on this month. So all the best to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Darnell,
Thank you for having me.
soon to be Dr. Darnell Smith, the Director of Athletics at Texas A&M University-San Antonio. Good to see you, sir. Go Jaguars.
Go Jaguars. Paws up.
Is that?
Yep, you got to keep it tight. Keep it tight. There we go.
Okay,
yeah.
There.
Paws up.
Got it. Okay. And my friends in Victoria, forgive me. I'm just going to, for one day, I'm going to be a Tamusa Jaguar.
Hey, forevermore, you're still a Jaguar, right?
Amen to that.
There we go.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There's another episode of Pickup Lines. We'll be back again very soon. You never know who'll be here in the car with me, but thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye for now.